into the Zoom. Perfect. Once again, if you are joining us for the first time, amazing. A lot of you can hear me. The Zoom chat is open. You want to send in your feedback, comment, or questions, and we do try to answer as much as possible during the course of our meeting. Now, it's been a super interesting week, and also for today, we've posted what are the trade settings that you want to follow. So if you've not taken that, you want to jump right in. You want to get all of those settings set up, and we're going to jump into starting those bots. Today, we're going to be much more brief. So you want to make sure you do that immediately. You want to start up all of the settings that we just sent, and we're going to look into the market and discuss why are we taking a different turn from our previous setup for a long. You would notice in the new setting, we're doing some shorts. So we're going to explain why we're taking something different as against the initial long for yesterday. So you want to pull in those settings, you want to start it up right away, and I'm going to jump right into the charts. So yesterday we did take, before we go ahead, I want to be sure that you've started up all the bots. We do have RLC, and we also have a setup for band, and we have for OMG. You want to make sure that all of the setup are up and running. Now, there is a setup for Lena also, but we didn't post that for reasons that Lena range are very high. So it could be a large market to cover up with different amounts of capital. But if you do have a whole lot of capital, you can also take Lena on the same setup that we did send, same as OMG. So I'm going to head into my Tafabot right away. I want to click start on each and every of the bots. So I do have OMG. So I started OMG start. And also we do have, once again, I'm going to put the setup in your screen for those who did miss it. We have OMG setup, we have band, and we have RLC. So you want to kickstart all of the setup right away. So if you've not, you want to do that right away. I'm jumping into my Tafabot and starting my bot. Let me know if your bot is started and we can continue. OMG, RLC, then we have band also. And for bonus, I said you can also start up Lena, but that should be only for people who do have much capital, which is why we didn't post such a kind of setup. Band started, and I'm also taking the Lena. Lena started. Perfect. So I see a lot of users say started and running already. That is amazing. If you've started already, then your RLC should already be reading into some level of profit. All the markets are already running. So we're going to jump into seeing why we're making a turn from the previous long. First, we want to start by reviewing the markets we did. So if you did follow yesterday's trade, we did the trade for band, which went really good, close for a 50% profit, went way above our target. If we were to run band for a 200% profit, it would have also achieved that. So it really went overboard, above the expectations that we had for band. So that is something really good. Then we also have the MK arrow setup that also took several profits for different set of users. So we do have the first set of users with MKRO that started earlier. So you have over more than 5 or 7 close trade with MKRO. For other users, you did have about 3 or 4, and we posted for MKRO to be switched to strategy 1 to close and not open further trades. MKRO also did perform, but not as much as expected yet. Then we had the trade on RLC that also did perform way above our initial targets and goal for RLC. So all of those markets we're putting in again, and we're going to see why. So let's jump right into the charts. Once again, the chat room is open. You want to drop the comments, you want to drop all of the feedbacks or questions there. So back to the charts, we do see the USD flow yesterday, why we did the shorts. First, we said we have approached the zone limits for the money flow for USD, and we should be expecting money flowing out of USD and moving into altcoins. So that did happen right around here. Now, looking at the altcoin market, we also witnessed the same thing happening, that money did flow into altcoin as at the same time it was leaving the USD market. And also BTC did also catch some money flow later on after altcoin started moving. Okay, I do have some questions. I'll jump into it and see again. All right, so this user said, I forgot to change my long to short for Lena trade last night. Please be sure that we're talking about Lena. We didn't have a Lena trade last night, but if you do have any trouble, please specify the particular market that you have this on, because we do not have a Lena trade right now, as of yesterday when we did take the trade. So we did see money flowing out from USDT, and we found money moving into Bitcoin, and also a lot of the money moved into altcoins. Now, as that happened yesterday with a super pump, more than expected, what we did expect was for altcoin to take in a lot of the money flow and not Bitcoin. So when we talked about it yesterday, we expected that altcoin is going to start climbing really up. Bitcoin just needs to be stagnant and not even go up. But what we did see is that Bitcoin also did have a shoot up and received its own money flow. Now, the problem with that is Bitcoin shooting up and shooting into the previous resistance of Bitcoin puts altcoins at a larger risk. Now, the risk is all of the altcoin market would then have to react to a Bitcoin decline from its own resistance. So what we should expect is that we see some altcoin declining at this point, because Bitcoin is facing a different resistance, and Bitcoin could be declining from that. And as usual, traders try to cash out of altcoin in anticipation of BTC move. So we're going to see a short drawdown for altcoins again, only because BTC did move above expectation. So we're going to see that drawdown as a lot of money flow has moved to BTC. So for that reason, we're looking for markets that are already weak, markets that we can take short on because they are weak. Now, you don't want to short the whole market that the money flow is getting out of altcoin because it's moving into BTC. Doesn't mean that every altcoin is going to dump. So what we try to do is look for markets that are already weak, and those are the markets we want to start up. A user is saying, can I start up the bots? Yes, once again, you can start up all the bots. Now, the trades for today are majorly for futures. So if you are on spot, you would not be able to take the trades. Now, we do have a plan for spot traders for markets like this, like we did announce that some days ago, and we will be giving further information about that for spot traders. So back to the chart. So what we want to identify is markets that are currently very, very weak. For such market, we want to start creating short positions there. And we're not shorting every market, like I said, because some market could still be very, very forceful despite money leaving altcoins. So back to the chart, starting from RLC, which is the first guy. So what we're seeing in RLC is a tight volume over here. So we're not seeing a lot of buy order jumping into RLC after it did break above the bearish zone. But we did see a rejection from the bullish zone upward. So we are set to jump in right into the bearish zone. So this tells us this market is weak. It couldn't achieve its bull. It couldn't fully actualize entering into the bullish zone. So this is a weak market. We want to create short, and it is clear why the market is weak. Between the buy and the sell, we're seeing a large volume on buy and also the large volume on sell. Tells us not enough money is going into these markets. So RLC forms the first market and the basics for our short for today. So if you did take that trade already on RLC, you are already making in profit. So profit is already coming in from RLC. That is amazing. And profit is also running in from OMG. So if next is, and this is practically affecting all the market, if we also see MK arrow, which is why we had to send an update that you want to switch MK arrow to strategy 1. You could see MK arrow rejection from the bullish zone. So after trending upward into the bullish zone, we also did have a rejection. Now, I also want to give a notice to any user who was still holding MK arrow for the past 1 week. Like I reckon that there's a user who said in the Telegram chat that I've still been holding MK arrow. Now, MK arrow did get to over $70. I want to believe that at that point you had called off your MK arrow trade, as we did see the rejection out of the bullish zone. Next we have here is band. Now, band did perform super well from our last setup, but what we can start seeing is declining volume of band right from the push up. We kept seeing at every new move, there's a declining volume. Less traders are interested to buy it at this point. And one of the reasons could be also it has done above the expectations. So traders are declining to buy. So what we do expect also is for band to start dropping into the new bearish zone. So we have the first zone of band at 9%, the second, if it does go up, we have the top zone at 13. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if band just have an inflow of volume and push up to the zone or a medium part of the zone around here, around 1.95, or move forward into the range of 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. If that happens, you want to be relaxed, knowing that we're covering for the maximum move of the zone that band can do. But overall, we do see weakness in band, that we have a large possibility to draw down into the bearish zone once more. Then we have for Lena, which we didn't post. And the reason for that is Lena at this point, where the price is quite a tricky zone, which we can see Lena starts taking in new high or becoming the top for Lena into greater low. So this trade should only be taken by people who have much capital to cover up the highest move over 40% that Lena can do. So if I reckon a lot of users might not be able to cover up for that, and we don't want to send such markets that have a higher zone that is possible to cover. But I'm personally taking also Lena trade you can also take that. We do see a rejection of Lena from the bullish zone. So that is something interesting, but I do reckon that we could also see money flow into Lena, and it could also push forward. But generally, we are expecting a money flow out of altcoins, which will be affecting a lot of markets that are weak, including Lena. Then we have OMG. OMG for us is the weakest of the market among all of the market that we've looked into. It is extremely bearish. We can see the money flow over here at an extreme state of decline, and that just keeps happening. More traders are interested to sell OMG than they are interested to buy OMG. Now, if we do have a push up from this point, I do expect a push up to 1.8. So that's how much I really believe OMG is very weak, that it could make a push up to 1.8, and that would be it. And we also see much more decline with OMG. So in a general terms, the whole market is looking at for Bitcoin right now. So if we go over to Bitcoin, so what you do see here is our Bitcoin zone right from days ago. So we've not updated the zone yet. Because we want to keep in mind where are the bearish zones that we had previously for Bitcoin. So what we do see is Bitcoin breaking above and breaking into the bullish zone, but having a rejection there. So we're not yet in the bullish zone for Bitcoin. Now, ideally, what we should have expected is that Bitcoin stays static and altcoin go bullish, but Bitcoin pulling up into the bullish zone and finding rejection will also cause altcoins to start rejecting downward. So we might find rejection of Bitcoin back into the bearish zone. We are just a tip above the bearish zone. We could find rejection into the bearish zone again, and that will cause a lot of altcoins to tank. Now, overall, we do expect altcoin movement to go forward in the long term. But right now we're trading day trading. We want to take the short-term movement. And when BTC is done with the drawdown and altcoin find another balance, we will be switching back into bullish sentiment. So onto that, you want to take up all of this setup. I see messages already, RLC already delivering profits again from RLC. Once again, I'm going to leave the screen on the setup for those who missed it, and I'm going to dive into the questions in the chart. So if you do have a feedback, comment a question, you want to send it in, and I'm going to be diving into that. So right on your screen again, we do have OMG at 32. So we're tracking almost the same price movement for all the markets today because they are behaving similarly. So we have OMG at 32, we have BAN at 32, we have RLC at 32 also. So basically all the same price movements we are tracking. So I'm going to jump into all of those questions and let's see how much more we can handle for today. So also looking at the liquidation record, we had 127 million in the past 24 hours. As much as that is good, that is still an average base of liquidation as against when the market is fully trending. And we have a whole lot of that liquidation on Bitcoin. Now, also moving into the position indexing, we'll find a whole lot of long position lying in, and we're now having a tightening short position again. So once again, we've seen this kind of scenario in our trade in the past couple weeks, and we've analyzed this before. Now, when we do see this, we are going to have a lot liquidation hunts that will be going for longs again. So we could see a lot of longs in the market. We're going to find hunts for longs market again, and we just have few shorts. Perfect. So back again to your screen, why I'm going to be digging into all of the questions and comments from the users. Let me know if you can still hear me. I do have a delay from this point. I'm going to be switching my Zoom to another. Let me know if you can still hear me, and I'm going to progress into answering all of the questions in the chat that we have. Perfect. I am missing some charts and connecting from a different PC right now. So I'm still waiting for the other two to kick up. But I do see a lot of questions, and that is still loading up. Okay, first, the Caesar said, is there a plan to make trading in the zone 100% automated? Super interesting question. Now, we've already introduced the new application, which you should be looking out for. Now, in the new application, we've made several adjustments. Number one is majorly about the mirror system. So all the mirrors you do find now are going to be audited, and we're going to have mirrors moving into a totally different mode. So what is going to happen is all of the setups we do on the live setup right here is going to be imputed into the mirror. So you could just go to a mirror and click copy, and you don't have to do anything. So that creates a level of automation for you as a user, that you don't need to be live on the Zoom setup, or you don't need to follow up to create the setup yourself. In one click, you could be following the live setup in a mirror. So that is something to look forward to, that we're also automating. Although there might be paid mirrors, because these are going to be owned by community members who are connected directly to the live setup, and they're making all of this mirror system for other users to follow, not based on their own trading, but all of the live setup. So you could trust that 100%, that those will be audited mirrors that are following the live setup. I still can get a hold of a lot of questions in the chat. It's still just buffering over there. But if you did send a question that I have not attended to, you want to send it right again, and I'm going to be able to access it from a different device, so I do not miss your question. A user is asking, please analyze max. I'm really not able to go right into that, as I'm switched from a different PC. But I'm just going to try to check it from this end and tell you, as I might not be able to share the PC for the analysis. Amazing. So I'm looking at max. In our setup for max, I do find max hitting into our second zone of 23%. So it did hit into that zone and found a rejection right around there. So if max, decide to move forward from here, we could find max trying to hit that zone again, but I still do expect a rejection right around there, number one. And secondly, we have a serious sell power happening on max. So we have a lot of traders trading out of max. So that is something to look forward to. So if I really want to take a max trade, I will probably be shorting max. And I don't want to believe that anyone is in a max trade at this point. I'm even going to go to my Tafa, since this has been called to my attention. I'm going to go to my Tafa, and I'm going to create my setup using the same setup for Same setup for MK, RLC, or band, the same price movement. And I'm going to be covering a price movement for Max, seeing that it has done a rejection at the second price level that we were expecting Max to do. So if you're there, the person who did ask this question, I want to believe you're not on a long on Max. Max went way above all of our plans, and we do not expect you to be in a long at this point. I'm going to create a short for Max using the same price movement because that is still the same range it is trading on. So I'm going to my Tafabot Max, and I'm turning on a bot for short. Those two bots we are not announcing because they are not official trade. We're just looking at it from the live setup over here. So once again, I'm going to jump into the Zoom again and to see all the comments. If I did miss your comments, as I cannot access it from the other device, you want to send it again so I do not mix it. So someone said, how do you measure the price movement? Can you demonstrate it? Okay, we're going to do that in our next Zoom as I cannot access the PC with the trading view. I don't know what's wrong with trading view. It's just rolling over there, so I cannot access that. So when I can, I'm going to show a demonstration on how we figure out the price movement. But beyond the price movement, the goal is always knowing the market sentiment, the money flow. That gives us a view. First, we determine market sentiment, we determine money flow before we even go into determining the price movement. So price movement is for the configuration, but determining if you're longing or shorting has to do with the money flow of the market and the market sentiment. User said, when a user switch an already existing trade from long to short, does it automatically switch on the exchange? If you do have a stop loss, for example, and you switch a trade from long to short, it's going to trigger a stop. Most times it might not trigger when you're on relax. So it's going to trigger a stop and switch the market to close the current trade and open the opposite direction. So that is something you can do. Else, you want to switch it already from your Tafabot and go to your exchange to change that. But we do have an improvement for that in the new app that allows you to click stop the bot and stop on the exchange also. Please, when do we, our user said, please, when do we expect you to post certain videos here to allow beginners to learn the basics, user Bennett? We do have other sections that are not this technical that allows users to understand the basics. So you want to join into the Telegram channel, and we do post that. I believe there's one coming up today also, and you want to join those. And you're going to learn the basics of what is martin gear, how to set up beyond this technical part that we do talk about here. Another user said, I've made a $200 setup, but I want to increase the capital. Can I modify the running bot and it will just adjust 100%, modify the current bot and it will adjust the capital? Okay, super interesting question. The user said, will this live trading section be ended when the new copy mirror is out? No, we do not intend to end this. We hope to keep doing this as we believe it's a vital part of Tafans and the whole community in general. We've seen how helpful this is, so we do not intend to stop it anytime soon. So we're still going to be having this live section as much as having the live mirror for users who don't want to lift the fingers and you just want to connect your bots and start trading without even concerning yourself with a live setup. So those are going to be two options. You could join in, do setup yourself. You could connect also and do the same. Okay, another user say, I got a mail that says auto delivery has been activated in my account, but there's no option in the app to set it yes or no. So if you do get a mail, that means it's activated. It's not in the current application for you to see the auto deliverage if it's on or off, but it is in the upcoming application. So if you did get a mail that is on, literally that is all you need. A user said, can you check STS? I'm really not able to fully assess. Possibly we could check it in the next setup. Is Tomo good for a short? Another question I still cannot assess, but I'm going to put that into view for markets that we should check out. Okay, another user, I changed from long to short for leaner trade last night. We didn't do a leaner trade, so I want to believe that is a trade on your side because I wanted to make money from the pump. Unfortunately, I didn't know it was shorting. I woke up this morning to see that all my entries had entered, and I'm on a 10x leverage and a high PNL. What is my fate in this trade? Any hope for leaner dumping in the next 2-3 days? Yes, I did talk about that, and I also created a short on leaner. So yes, you do have hope of leaner dumping, but you want to manage that trade with pulling in capital that the trade is not using, so Binance allows you to breathe, or whichever exchange that you're using. Okay, another user. For user Solomon, I'm not sure, but do send me a message. Let's see what is possible for your comments. Okay, I copy your trade. Another user said, I copy your trade. I want to believe, but I didn't make a profit. User iPhone, that's what your name states. I want to believe that you mean you're copying somebody in the mirror right now, not following the live setup. So what you want to do, you want to disconnect from wherever you're copying. The current mirror is for individuals that can put in any kind of setup, but in the new application, we're streamlining mirrors to only people who are following the live setup and who we have audited. So I want to believe you're copying somebody who is doing whatsoever is doing. So you want to disconnect from that, and you want to start following the live setup that we give, and you're going to be in profit every day like every other user is making. Okay, another user says, I'm on leaner trade with long. Should I change to short for today's trading? I'm really surprised how you got into leaner trade. I want to believe you did that on your own. We didn't post a leaner trade. You don't want to be on a leaner long also at this point. Of course, it could push back up like we said, but you don't want to be on a long. User say, I really want to thank Tafa. It has been a life-changing journey. That is beautiful. We do love to hear that. A lot of users are requesting check a lot of markets. I'm unable to check that right now, but we're going to see how that is going to be for tomorrow. So we're going to call it a day for today. And as we keep going with the training, a user is asking, how do I disconnect from a mirror trade? Go back into your Tafa, go to manage. You're going to see all the mirrors you're connected to. Delete, click on delete sign or disconnect. It's going to disconnect from all of the mirrors, and you can start following the live setup. Okay, a user say, I did set up the live trade, but whenever I check my KuCoin, I am losing money. So you're possibly doing something wrong, as you can see from every other users and the record of the trade, that no trade has ever gotten into a loss. All of the trades are 100% profits. You could also see the trade from yesterday, a day before, and more. We've never had a losing trade with the live setup over the past weeks or months that we've been doing that. So what you want to do is to be sure that you're putting in the right setup. So for that user iPhone, you want to chat in the Telegram group, show your setup there, and other community member is going to help you where you're getting it wrong to put the setup rightly. Hope that is 100% clear. You're getting something wrong and you need to fix up the setup to be profitable. Okay, user say, I noticed a band I said with 100 is trading with 200. Possible that there was a trade there before. What you might want to do is just shut down the bot, close the trade, and restart it again. For those that want to use stop loss on Tafabot, do you need to set the margin mode to isolated instead of cross? No, all you need to do is set the stop loss on Tafabot. So if you want to use the stop loss, just set Tafabot provides you that. You want to leave your bot on cross because you're trading Matinga, means that you should be taking into consideration beyond the capital in the trade because you have other entries that will be using those capital. So it should always be on cross, but you set the stop loss in Tafabot, not on your exchange. Perfect. A lot of users, Tafabot, you guys are the best. Thank you so much, Tafa, to the word. All right, so many much comments. We're going to call it a day for today, and we're going to continue this in the Telegram chat. So you want to join there if you're not yet there. And if there are updates for the market, we're going to keep sending into the market over there. All right, Staffans, that is going to be it for today. For those that are not in the group, you want to join in, search Tafabot, our Tafa in Telegram, and join. Thank you all. Let's go make some money again. And cheers.